Well, I think it's a pretty obvious answer. You wouldn't wait for a heart attack to start to find out that your heart has problems, right? That's why doctors do stress tests to expose those hidden risks before they become serious. And that same thing applies to your retirement. Have you stress tested your retirement plan for the economy that we're facing today? From volatile markets to rising inflation, global uncertainty, it is time to find out if your plan can take the heat. And joining us now, we've got Taylor and Laurel Stewart from Mattson Financial Services. Guys, good to have you back. Thanks for being on the couch with me once more.
It's always great to be here.
We're
Good to be
gonna
here,
get
Todd.
stressful today. What does a stress test involve for my finances?
Yeah, that's one of those things where a lot of people, first and foremost, don't know what they're paying. And they also don't really know what kind of philosophy that their advisor believes. You know, what happens when markets are down, what happens when they're up. So one of those things is we can actually do a stress test to see what's going on with your portfolio. How much are you paying, and does it actually align with your dreams, goals, and desires? And if not, we're going to have some conversations and make some tweaks from there.
And I'm sure you got a what if hammer. You smack it with the what if hammer and go, what are you going to do now, right?
Yeah.
You guys can do that, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I ask that what if question a lot. But back to Laurel's point is we're going to do a full analysis going through this entire plan. A part of that analysis is really getting an idea of where your investments sit. So many times I have folks come in and they say, I'm getting really close to retirement, and I feel like my 401k and my investments are just as volatile as they've always been. And so then we take a look and say, well, we're taking on a lot more risk than we should, number one, and more risk than what you're comfortable with, of course. And maybe we're paying more in fees to do that as well. So we take a look at that so we can really, give that analysis and optimize that plan, get them more within their risk tolerance, and also juice up that income from the portfolio, right? We don't want to just rely on stock A, B, and C to go up for your income, because just as much as they go up, they can go down, right? And if that's all you've got, now we're selling assets at a loss. So let's say it's down 20%. You're in a 20% rough tax bracket. You're losing 40 cents on your dollar just because you don't know, right? So we need to do that analysis, figure out where you're at, and get that strategy in place to get you where you need to go.
The stress test, I'm sure, involves having enough money, right? So 401k, I got that. I've got my Social Security, and that's enough. That's what most people think, right? They're going to retire on that. But what I'm hearing is it's probably not going to be.
Yeah, I feel like that's the old way, right? You talk about the three stools where you got Social Security, land, and then your retirement plan.
Your retirement plan, yeah.
And so you're looking at that like, well, it's really changed a lot. Or I should say actually your pension. But it's changed a lot because now there aren't really pensions. So that 401k is the third leg now. But you need to make sure somebody's managing it. And we hear a lot of times nobody's calling them, right? They've got this administrator, they get hold times, and nobody's actively managing to say we're taking advantage in the down markets or we're harvesting when we've got gains. And so when you look at your statements, you're always just following things. There's no strategy in place. You're just really long-term investing is the best. And that's not the best way to go about it.
I feel guilty right now.
Oh, no.
Because I'm fairly sure I'm one of those people.
Well, that's okay, right? And I don't want anybody listener to be like, oh, I want to bury my head in the sand and I can't call. That's what we're here for, is to try to educate, make sure you have these opportunities, and somebody coaching you through. We've got a quarterly, management plan with 401k. So if you're not quite at retirement yet, but you want help and you want some eyes on your 401k, we can do that here at Mattson Financial.
I'm assuming this stress test also involves taxes. I mean, they're not going away.
No, they're not. So that's another big part that we're going to look at. But not only taxes, health insurance, because when you retire, right, you need health insurance. Maybe it's marketplace insurance. Maybe you're on COBRA for a short period of time, or then Medicare. And what's that going to cover for you? And then what's it going to cost? Well, that's marketplace insurance, for example, is directly, that price and that subsidy you receive is based on your income. Well, if we're pulling all from a taxable source and we have Social Security, maybe we're paying more than what we really should for that insurance if we would have pulled from different buckets or different tax qualifications to keep that income low. So taxes is a big part of that, of course. It affects your income, it affects what you are able to spend, what you're able to keep, it affects the premiums for your health insurance, it affects a lot of things. So we've got to look at all of it.
The web of everything.
So now I'm thinking to myself, I'm the guy who's basically just putting his money out there right in the market when I should have somebody actively managing this money to where I could actually take advantage of some of these things. And if your financial advisor is not doing that, it's a good time to call Mattson Financial. You've got a great deal to the
Yes, and we'd love just that checkup like we've talked about earlier.
Right.
You want to make sure that things are going the way they should be. So it just gives you that second set of eyes on things and a perspective to say, well, what are you doing about health insurance? Do you have confidence to know if the markets go down?
Yeah.
What is your next step? Is it, oh, hold on, it'll come back, or you're going to take from losses, or is there a different strategy in place? So we'd love to offer that to you for the first 5 callers. If you've saved $250,000 or more for retirement, let's get started today with just a simple conversation.
I love it. And I'm telling you what, man, this light switch economy with up and down on the market, we don't want to be messing with that, right? Having a plan, that's important. And,
Yes.
and today, Mattson Financial is offering you this exclusive opportunity to get that retirement plan stress tested. That plan that you've got now, take it in, see how it holds up. If you've saved $250,000 or more, their team's going to sit down with you to run those numbers to see how your retirement stacks up against market volatility, against the tax changes or inflation. And then the most important part, build out solutions to help address those challenges. And as always, the enhanced plan from Mattson Financial includes that tactical income, investment, tax, healthcare, and legacy planning strategies to help you maximize your retirement. So you can just have peace of mind during some turbulent times. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Call 1-800-536-8907 now.